This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The Indiana State Museum and Historic Sites is set to close the Whitewater Canal Historic Site in the Franklin County town of Metamora. The museum points to the high cost of repair work needed to keep the site up and running, but its decision to close the historic canal appears to be a consequence of Governor Mike Braun's quest to reduce state spending. Franklin County Economic Development Commissioner John Palmer said the announcement was a shock.
The businesses in Metamora are all tourism related, and they are all there because of that canal. With that disappearing, that is going to hurt their business. And so we're working on trying to find out if this is actually going to happen or if there's anything to be done to change the situation.
The site is set to close at the end of the fall. The Ports of Indiana has officially named a European company as the new operator of the grain export facility at the Ports of Indiana Burns Harbor in northwest Indiana. Louis Dreyfus Company has previously stated that it plans to invest $18 million to restart the facility, which closed in 2023, and add 13 jobs. Columbus Regional Health has announced that Tanya Hand will serve as the new president of Columbus Regional Health Foundation. Hand will succeed Julie Abedian, who is retiring from the foundation on August 21st. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
7 Indiana organizations have been chosen to host a traveling Smithsonian exhibit that explores the history of democracy in the United States. IIB's Marek Mazurek has more.
Voices and Votes: Democracy in America is part of the Smithsonian's Museum on Main Street initiative and is based on a major exhibition at the National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. The traveling exhibit features historical and contemporary photos, educational and archival video, multimedia interactives with short games, and historical objects like campaign souvenirs, voter memorabilia, and protest material. Indiana Humanities, in partnership with the Smithsonian, selected the 7 Indiana organizations to host the exhibit in 2026 and 2027 amid the semi-quincentennial, which commemorates the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The exhibit will debut next March in Angola and travel to French Lick, Rushville, Upland, Greencastle, Vernon, and Columbia City through March of 2027. The host organizations receive training and other free resources from the Smithsonian and Indiana Humanities to host the exhibit. Each organization will also curate a unique part of the exhibit that explores their own community's history of civic engagement. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Governor Mike Braun today announced 9 appointments to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors, replacing the current roster of board members. The sweeping move fulfills a pledge Braun made last week when he confirmed he planned to dismantle and reconstruct the existing board amid his office's probe into activities of the state agency and its spin-off venture capital firm Elevate Ventures. Braun, who serves as board chairman, said the appointed members were, quote, distinguished by philanthropic efforts and a commitment to service to their state and local communities, end quote. You can view the full list of board members at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Despite a heartbreaking loss in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Indiana Pacers' unbelievable playoff run has ignited a business boom that could add up to nearly $20 million for the central Indiana economy. The 9-week run has led to a boost for local hotels, with rates up 34% during home games, according to data from Visit Indy. Senior Vice President Chris Gall discussed the impact on Inside Indiana Business Television.
We're tracking visitors from more than 20 different countries who are coming into our city to watch Pacers basketball. And that is a big deal. Anytime the decal is up on the JW Marriott, speaking of hotels, that's a big deal. We looked at Airbnb and Vrbo listings. Those are surging on nights in which we have home Pacer playoff games, and that's another lead indicator.
Visit Indy adds that nearly 282,000 national and international stories have been published about the Pacers, adding up to an estimated $6 billion in brand building for the city. Indianapolis Colts analyst Rick Venturi is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.